Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So, yesterday, one of my friends, we'll call him Jeremy, he asked me to go over to his house for a sleepover. He told me I should arrive there at 5:30 p.m. I walked all the way to his place. To be fair, it's not that far. It's like a 15-minute walk. Got there exactly at 5:30, and because he lives in a flat, I waited for him downstairs to come pick me up. Now, I called him once I reached there. Jeremy didn't show up until 8 p.m. Essentially, he left me there for 2.5 hours. But you know who's counting, right? However, on the bright side, because I was stuck there for almost 3 hours, I got time to edit a video. And by edit a video, I mean put Smash gameplay over my recording. But that's besides the point. So that part was pretty great. I got a video done and made a thumbnail and all that. So when he finally came to pick me up, he didn't give me a reason to why he was late. He didn't say he was sorry. He didn't even address it, right? He basically brushed it off like nothing happened. So you know the elevator up to his home was pretty awkward. So, and during that time, it got me thinking about how much I've put up with when it comes to these friendships. Now, Jeremy isn't a friend that I just recently known. In fact, he's an old friend. Not old in age, but old in how long I've known him. I think it's at least 10 years by this point. Not really sure. Right? But I say at least 10 years. Really long time friend. Right? And last night actually, when Jeremy called me over, it was because he wanted to show me a new game that came out, you know? But as soon as I arrived, he asked me to download it. He didn't show me the game yet. He just asked me to download it. It's basically this new Chinese version of Pokemon that's only out in China. I don't really have an interest in playing it, right? And downloading an APK seems kind of shady. So I'm not going to do it. But he didn't care, obviously, so he took my spare phone that I used to edit the video to download that fake game anyways. And aside from asking me to download that game and telling me he was going to show it to me, which he didn't, we didn't hang out at all during that sleepover, right? I stayed over for the entire night. Nothing happened. I woke up around 12 p.m. because my sleep schedule is still kind of messed up. And 12 p.m. all the way until 8 p.m. tonight, before I left, we didn't do anything together. We barely talked, right? He spent the entire time in a different room playing that game while I was sitting by myself in the bedroom, entertaining myself by watching YouTube and playing Clash Royale. Basically, I just did what I could have done at home. Basically. But, to look at the actual bright side, staying there wasn't that bad. Why? Because his mom bought us breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, yeah, I got free food. That was pretty great. It wasn't home cooked or anything. She bought takeaway, but it wasn't fast food. So it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good at least. I don't know. I don't really know what's actually good when it comes to food. Like if you know anything about my past videos, I don't. But I got free food, so I'll take it. Whatever, you know. Okay. What's to make this even worse, right? Mind you, Jeremy and I actually play the same games. Like, we play Clash Royale, we play Brawl Stars, we play Minecraft, we play Soul Knight, all that shebang. Usually when we hang out at his home, we usually just play mobile games. But he just really wanted to play that Chinese Pokemon game today. And I'm pretty sure that's the whole reason, well, it is the whole reason he even asked me to go over. Right? A game that he will just called me over to play a game that he will like, okay, being a good friend, right? When your friend asks you to play a game, naturally you download, you try it, you play it with him. But I didn't do that. Why? Because it's a pattern when it comes to this guy, right? This is just another one of those games that he will get into and he will inevitably quit. Either in a month or less. Maybe more than a month, but not longer than 3. Because this is the exact same cycle with every similar game like this that has come out. He gets super addicted, tries to get you hooked to it, and then quit. That's it. That's the whole thing with this guy. It's exactly what happened with games like Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero. Right? When Genshin first came out, I already tried it out on my own. A few days later, he started playing it and was like, hey, you gotta go download it. The graphics are so good and blah, blah, blah. And now, obviously, when you find out a friend is playing a game, you want to play it even more too, right? So I got myself addicted. I got so addicted to Genshin, right? I played that game for 5 years. 6 actually, because this is the 7th year, I believe. So yeah, 6 years, I think. So guess what? That guy that was riding on Genshin's Wii, he didn't even play that game for that long. Like, he played it for a month or 2. And I was just left there playing the game pretty much by myself for the next 6 years, right before I eventually quit. Same thing happened with Star Rail. When I first saw Star Rail, I was uninterested, to put it bluntly. I didn't want to play it at all. But guess what he did? He took my phone, opened up the Play Store, downloaded that game anyway. So what did I do? Naturally, I opened it and played it to try it out. Guess what? I got bored of it in 2 days, and after I left his home, I deleted it. And what happens next? He didn't last on that game for 2 weeks. He didn't even last 2 weeks on that game. Okay, so he's the exact type of player. I know that he plays games like that. That's why this time I'm not going to get into it. Like, it was the same thing with Zenless Zone Zero. When Zenless came out, I was completely uninterested. Again, I didn't want to play it. I didn't even download it, in fact. And when he started playing it, he asked me, are you going to play it? I told him no. He goes, but it's made by Hoyo. And I'm like, I don't care if it's made by Hoyo. If I'm not interested, I'm not going to play it. That's how I play games, right? And since he couldn't hijack, I didn't let him hijack my phone this time. So he just kept pushing and telling me, you should try it. You never know if you like something or you dislike something unless you try it. Blah, blah, blah. And you should play it because I really enjoy it. And he was flexing like, oh, I got Ellen on my first temple. I'm so lucky, yada, yada. And guess what? He didn't last 2 weeks on that game either, right? He played it for 2 weeks, dropped it, and then started going around telling basically everyone in our friend group that we both mutually know, Zenless sucks. I don't want to play that garbage ever again. And you know what? When I heard him say Zenless Zone Zero sucks, I realized, you know what? I don't trust this guy when it comes to games on reviews. When it comes to, reviews on games on reviews. So I downloaded Zenless Zone Zero, started playing it, and now I love the game. It is so Gunner friendly. I love that game. It's best game ever. So yeah, he always does this. He gets you hooked, leaves you playing by yourself with no friends, and then the cycle just continues. And that's why I'm not going to bother with this guy when it comes to new games anymore, because that's just how it is. That's just how he is. And, obviously I didn't say any of these things to his face, which brings me to the other topic that I want to talk about, which is how much I have changed as a person growing up. Right? Before I met this guy, right? When I was younger, I was a very direct person. Right? You can take that as a good or a bad thing. It doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, whether you're good or bad is pretty much decided by society. But as a kid, even as almost a teenager, whenever someone would be rude to me or just mean to me, I would directly address it. right? I would tell them to stop, and if they didn't, I would tell someone who has the authority to force them to stop, right? I would just tell them straight up that they annoy me, very directly, tell them to stop. If they don't, then I'll tell someone else. Basically, very direct, right? If someone was calling me names, I'll say that they're calling me names and they're annoying. That's what I did. Fight back, However, I have changed so much in these past few years, for better or for worse, right? I am not as direct as I used to be. Take this delay, right, of how he was late for 3 hours almost, and being completely ignored by Jeremy as a prime example. He was 2.5 hours late, completely locked himself in another room, didn't say a word. What did I do? Nothing. Back then, if somebody did something like that, I would call them out on it and hope that they would change. But now, I don't do that anymore. They do this type of shit. They don't apologize or say anything about it, address it on their own. I don't call them out on it either. What do? When this type of stuff happens, I leave. Silently. They will never know what they did wrong. But I will never hang out with them as much as I used to. They're just gonna see me lesser and lesser and lesser, and they won't know why. That's what I do. And that's the really big contrast that I've realized has happened to my character over the course of the years. Well, I used to be a very direct person. Nowadays, I'm still direct, but only to people that I'm not really well acquainted with. Like when I talk with people that I'm acquainted with, I just feel like I shouldn't be as direct because it might offend them. And I feel like when I talk to people that I've grown accustomed to, I just expect them to have some form of respect for me as I do for them. This silent respect that you'll realize that you fucked up and you'll be sorry for it. Or you'll address that you're sorry for it. Or do something to show that you're sorry for it. Right? Because that's what I do. When I fuck up with my friends, I tell them the reason, I address it, I apologize. Or if I don't address it, I'll do something that shows them that I'm sorry for it. Right? This silent sort of respect that you show towards a really close friend. And time again, Jeremy has failed to do that. I know I'm only using one example right now, right? Because this is the most recent one, and that's what really got me to talk about this. So I'm just gonna silently stop hanging out with him, and just hang out less. Definitely hang out less. So yeah, that's basically it for the video. Yeah, so basically that hangout was what caused me to make this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time sort of thing. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. If you think it was fun. Bye bye.